Okay, so what if I told you that the entire global economy pretty much hinges on a single piece of paper? Sounds a little crazy, right? Well, today we're going to dive into a web page for what looks like a simple professional course. But what we're really unpacking is the incredible power of a document you've probably never heard of, the bill of lading.
The source we're looking at just lays it out there perfectly. Shipping is the backbone of global economy. And you know what? That is absolutely not an exaggeration. Just think about it. Your phone, your coffee, the shirt you're wearing right now. Chances are all of it traveled on a ship. It's all part of this massive, massive system that this one document helps to control.
So, what does it really mean to be the global economic backbone? We're talking about a network of almost unbelievable complexity with all these countless moving parts that somehow have to work together in perfect harmony.
Yeah, from the raw materials that build your car to the finished laptop sitting on your desk, almost everything takes a ride on a ship. But here's the thing. This giant system doesn't just run on engines and fuel. It runs on paper. And if you get one little piece of that documentation wrong, the entire global supply chain can just grind to a halt.
So, if one little slip-up in the paperwork can cause that much chaos, what is this all-important document? This is where we zoom in, from the huge world of shipping down to the one single vital component that makes the whole thing work.
So let's get right to it. What exactly is this document that carries so much weight? The whole webpage we're looking at is basically built around answering this exact question, and then explaining why understanding it is so critical that it needs its own specialized course.
At its core, the bill of lading, or BL for short, does three main things. First, it's a receipt. It proves the carrier actually has the goods. Second, it's a contract that spells out the terms of the journey. And third, and this is the big one, it's a document of title. Whoever holds this piece of paper literally owns the cargo. So yeah, when the source calls it an imperative document, you can really see why.
But, and this is a crucial point the source makes, this thing is so much more than just a receipt. It's a legally complex instrument. And that complexity, well, that's precisely why you need specialized knowledge, especially when things go wrong and you have to start filing claims.
So how do you get a handle on all that complexity? Well, that's the whole point of this webpage we're analyzing. It's not just pointing out a problem, it's offering up a solution, a dedicated course to help you gain this super specific expertise.
And just look at what's being promised here. This isn't just about reading a textbook. The course is offering real professional insights, practical, hands-on skills for dealing with claims, and a genuine appreciation for this unique field. It's all about becoming a true specialist.
And notice how the source builds up that credibility. This isn't some faceless, anonymous course. It's taught by a Captain Shantanu, who's described as an experienced master mariner and practitioner. This adds such a crucial human touch, right? It signals that you're learning from someone who actually lives and breathes this stuff every single day.
All right, so what does this specialization actually look like when you get down to the nitty-gritty? The webpage lays out all the practical details for anyone who's thinking about signing up.
The logistics are pretty straightforward. It's all online, delivered over Zoom, which makes it accessible to pretty much anyone around the world, as long as you can sync up with Singapore time, of course. And it looks like the next one isn't until February 2026, which kind of suggests this is a planned, recurring, and probably popular program.
Now, let's talk about the cost, because the pricing structure here is really telling. There's a clear two-tiered system. For locals, that's Singaporeans and permanent residents, there's a government grant that cuts the fee right in half. For everyone else, it's 600 Singapore dollars.
And the source really wants you to notice this number for the locals, 300 Singapore dollars. It goes out of its way to say this is very affordable in today's context, which really highlights the value they're offering, especially for those who can get that subsidy.
Getting that grant isn't just automatic, though. The process is super clear. First, you have to be a citizen or a permanent resident. Second, your attendance is verified through the official SingPass system. And third, and this is key, you have to pass an in-person assessment. So they're really making sure you've learned the material.
And after all that, you walk away with a digital certificate of attendance. That's the official credential that proves you've put in the work, completed the course, and passed the test.
Okay, so we've just picked apart the details of one very, very specific course. But what's the big picture here? What does the fact that a course like this even exists tell us about the professional world we're living in today?
While the webpage ends with these really direct calls to action, you see phrases like upskill or reskill, unique and impactful, and a rare and affordable learning opportunity. The core message is crystal clear. In our complex global economy, having deep, specialized knowledge in a small but critical area is incredibly valuable.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? This whole explainer was built from a single web page about one document in one industry. But the principle behind it is universal. It really makes you wonder, in your own field, in your career, what's your bill of lading? What's that one piece of niche knowledge that holds a totally disproportionate amount of value? Definitely something to think about.